Hello guys, I haven't uploaded in a while, which has been the motto for this channel the past few months or year, you could say. So I'm going to do my prem predictions, which I do every year despite my inconsistent uploading. Just one day before the prem, and let's get straight into it. At last place I'm going for Cardiff City. So the reasoning behind it is that they're not good enough for the prem. Their manager seems to get clubs promoted, but most of the time he gets relegated again. So they could prove me wrong like Brighton and Huddersfield did last season, and they did prove a lot of people wrong, but I think Cardiff City are going to get relegated, and I don't think they're going to be proving anyone wrong. Next up is they will do that well, but they could go ahead and prove me wrong again. At 19th place. So after Brighton, I'm going for compilation. So Watford have got Delafeu and they've got Foster and they've got some good signings. But my reason behind it is that they live in chaos. They constantly sack managers, so they have no good chaos. It's not stable, and at one point it will fall apart. Every season they sack a manager, and this season I think it will all fall apart. They may just avoid relegation, but I don't predict a good season for Watford. After Watford, it's going to be Huddersfield Town. So Huddersfield, their manager Wagner has done an insane job, but I think he will do a good job again, narrowly avoiding relegation like last season. And Huddersfield will survive, but they may suffer from second season syndrome and they may get relegated. They signed the likes of Dunn from Borussia Dortmund, Sobi from Stoke, Congolo from Monaco, and yeah, the transfer window hasn't been too bad, but it's nothing that. After it, it's going to be Crystal Palace. This is a team where its fate is decided on one player, which is very dangerous. If Wilfried Zaha goes, then Crystal Palace will get relegated. If he stays and their manager does a good job, they will survive. Roy Hodgson seems to do a good job with these small teams, but doesn't seem to do well at the big stage, like with England, we all remember that. They've signed Kouyaté from West Ham, which is a good signing, and Max Meyer from Schalke for free. That's a very good signing. So if Max Meyer does perform, he will have Zaha, but I'm not sure if he's as good as Zaha. After that, I'm going for Southampton. Southampton, the Saints, last season, they did not do that good of a job. Their manager, Claude Puel, did a very bad job, and that's an understatement. He did a really, really bad job. Vestergaard from Borussia Mönchengladbach is a really good signing. If he ends up performing well, he will do miracles, and their back will be very, very good. So Vestergaard, he's a strong Swiss defender, and he can do well and improve their defense. Now with Mark Hughes, better than Pellegrino of last season, I think that they will survive. But back then they used to be one of the best and most stable clubs in the Prem. Right now they don't seem like that club anymore. So the home of Liverpool and the home of talent, Liverpool's academy, may not be on the right form. After Southampton, I'm going for Newcastle. Newcastle, it's their owner who's the problem. They have a good team, a really good manager who's remained loyal even after they got relegated. They got Kennedy on loan from Chelsea, but the problem is their manager refuses to spend big, refuses to spend at all. He has no ambitions for the club, which is a very, very big problem. Benitez, I won't say anything about him if he just gives the club his back and leaves it. But he's remained loyal, and that is very good for them. But most of the players are unhappy since they're not getting paid, and the club are not in a good state right now. So Newcastle, I'm giving them a generous prediction because of course things are going to improve. There's no way they keep on like that. But it's Mike Ashley, you never know. So I think Newcastle, they're unstable. They may get relegated, honestly. Last season I had big predictions for them, and they finished 10th, so they did me justice. But right here, I'm not sure about it. After Newcastle, it's Fulham. Well, a club with ambitions, and the opposite of Newcastle. They've signed some really big players. John McAllister from Nice, who was a target from a lot of teams, a lot of bigger teams. He may go to Liverpool in the coming years. Schürrle from Borussia Dortmund didn't perform the best with Borussia, but we all know what he's capable of. A World Cup winner, Andrea Schürrle. Mitrovic from Newcastle participated in the World Cup with Serbia. He's a very good player and he can do well. And Callum Chambers from Arsenal. So a list of good signings by Fulham, and I think they will do well this season. After Fulham, it will be Burnley. I think Burnley may suffer. I'm not sure about Burnley, because they haven't had the best transfer window. Joe Hart is the biggest name I see right here, but according to form, not really. And I think they need a lot more signings because they're participating in Europe and they need a lot more depth and they're not going to be rested. So I think Burnley may have a really bad season, but I'm giving them a generous prediction right here. And I'm going to say they will finish in a good position. I think the fans will be happy if they finish right here. After it, it's going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers. So they've had a really good transfer window, also opposite from Newcastle. Both promoted teams getting really good transfer windows, except for Cardiff, who haven't had a bad one. So John Coutinho, Adama Traore, Dan Donker, and Rui Patricio. The list goes on. They have Ruben Neves can set the Premier League apart. And I wouldn't be surprised if most of their players get sold in like a few years' time. But right now they're looking a really good side. A really good keeper. A lot of Portuguese new names right now. I don't know why, but I think the agent has got something to do with it. I think George Mendes has got something to do with it. So after Wolves, I'm going for Leicester City. 2 of the 3 most significant players at their season-winning campaign, which no one will forget, 2 years ago, all 3, are gone. Kante is gone and Mahrez is gone. Vardy has remained loyal, but I'm not sure what he's going to do. For a player that depends on his pace and he's aging now, I'm not sure if he'll do that well. I wish he does well because I really like him, but I'm not sure about it. Ricardo Pereira is one of the best signing, I think, right now. And they sold Huth, a hero from that season, but right now not that big. So I think Leicester City can have not that good of a season, but I predict Vardy. I'm being optimistic for him, and he will do well, which will cause Leicester to do well. But if he does bad, I'm saying they won't do that well. After Leicester is Everton. Everton had a disappointing campaign. Now with Marco Silva after getting rid of Big Fat Sam, I don't think they spend their money wisely. That's certainly. Klaassen hasn't done it well at all. Sigurdsson for 50 million, overpriced. Now Richarlison for 50 million. That's equal to Ronaldo to Juve. Lucas Digne, I guess that's a decent signing, but they overspend, and I'm not sure about their signings. That it's really risky, and it hasn't paid off so far. But if Marco Silva can get things going, they will do well. But I'm not sure about Everton. They may not do that well. So, the team outside of the top 6, the best of the rest, is going to be West Ham United. With Manuel Pellegrini, he should expect instant respect from all the players since he won a Premier League title. Some good, very good reinforcements. Jack Wilshere from Arsenal, a really good playmaker who's injured most of the time but has been really good in the past few years. Fabianski, a good keeper from Swansea. Yarmolenko from Borussia Dortmund, a really good signing. Hasn't done that well with Dortmund, but he's a really underrated player and he is very, very good. Lucas Perez from Arsenal, a flop for Arsenal, but he may do well with them. Felipe Anderson from Lazio, one of their biggest, and he was targeted by a lot of bigger clubs, but West Ham at the end got him. I think with their new manager, they should be expecting a lot, and I think 7th place or anything, I think the top half will be their objective. So now we enter the top territory, the top 6. At 6th place, I'm going for a very risky one. I'm going for Manchester United. So the reason behind it is Jose Mourinho doesn't look so good. They don't look so good in the friendlies. He's angry, he's making up excuses. It's very similar when he got sacked with Chelsea. Like, the mentality is not good, the signings are not that good. The past 2 transfer windows were amazing for them, but now Fred is their only significant signing. And they sold some of the deadwood. They Blind is finally getting a transfer. Joe Pereira's getting a transfer. Michael Carrick has retired, but I think they will finish 6th. And look, I think Jose Mourinho will get sacked. And depending on the time that he gets sacked, then that will be how Manchester United do. Because I think when Mourinho gets sacked, they will do a lot better. But I think they may get a really bad season, even worse than 6th. But I'm going for 6th for now. After Man U, I'm going for Chelsea, and I think they may win the league for a team that I'm saying is 5th place. Because you know their pattern, they are sacking managers left and right. They've just sold a Courtois, and Kepa is the new replacement for Courtois. Kovacic is a really good addition, and Jorginho hasn't done very well, but I think he will do bits for them. I think Sarri has to get them to adapt to his style, and that will be hard because he likes to press, and Morata and Giroud aren't exactly the strikers that would like to press. So I think Batshuayi is the best option right here. A lot of chances. He's done well with Dortmund. I don't know if he will do well with Chelsea. If they give him the trust, yes, he will certainly do well. So I think Chelsea can actually finish first. They can be on the pattern, but logically it doesn't seem like they will finish first. After Chelsea, I'm going for Tottenham or Spurs. Tottenham haven't signed anyone yet in this transfer window. Very concerning, I think, if you haven't signed anyone and you're a Prem club competing in the top 6. But the only thing that I'm giving Tottenham and why I predicted them to finish very highly, 4th place, I think is a very good place to finish if you didn't sign anyone. Last season they did the same thing, but at the end they did sign Davinson Sanchez, which ended up being such a good signing, and Lorente, which was good at the beginning, but then he kind of fell off the radar. So Tottenham, it's concerning, but the reason I'm giving them 4th place is because England did well in the World Cup, and we know how England's team is like. It's mostly Tottenham players. So they have a lot of talent, but if Pochettino doesn't win anything in the next 3 years, I think it will be disappointing. They had a good side, but they never won anything. And we've seen what they're capable of. They were never capable of doing anything that big. So without any new signings, I'm not sure if they will be capable of doing that. So I think just a 4th place. After Tottenham, it's going to be Arsenal, the other club from London. 3 London clubs in a row. So, Arsenal, I'm very impressed from their business. They may not do that well. Most people predicted them to be like 5th or 6th. But I'm giving them a really, really good prediction. I'm going for them to finish 3rd. Lichtsteiner from Juve, a really underrated winger. That is aging, but he's still very good. Leno, a great keeper, a great young keeper replacing the tired and old legs of Peter Cech. Papastapoulos, whatever his Socrates. I think that's a great signing, but they will maximum get 2 years. But I think it's a good price tag for like an aging player that will give you good performances for the next 2 years. Lucas Torreira from Sampdoria will help strengthen their defensive mid position, a lot more reliable than Xhaka, who's not been that good. We've seen him in the World Cup and we've seen what he's capable of, but he hasn't done that for Arsenal. They've got rid of the Deadwood, and I think it will be a good season under Unai Emery, who will, I think, win the Europa League since he's experienced in that. So after Arsenal, I'm going for a top 2, which I haven't predicted already. Well, where I predicted it's Liverpool and Man City. Most people's top 2. It's gonna be really hard. So I'm gonna look at the signings. I'm gonna check each one, see what am I gonna do. So Fabinho, a great signing. Keita, another great signing. Shaqiri, a great signing. And Becca, another great signing. Or Alisson, I should say. They've strengthened where they needed to. Klopp did a great job in the transfer window. And they have depth now, which will help them a lot. Got rid of Emre Can, the most significant one. And Ben Woodburn is now out on loan. Okay. So, they've done good business. They've strengthened their squad, and I don't know if I'll put them at first or not. I'm gonna go check Man City now. Manchester City's transfers. So I do remember them off the back of my head, but I don't want to get anything wrong. So Riyad Mahrez is the most significant one. They have a really young player that's doing really well. Got rid of a lot of the younger players. Got them out on loan to get them some experience. I like what Pep is doing. I think they will. But no team wins it back to back. But on the other hand, they are Man City under Pep Guardiola, who've been good at making teams hungry even after they win a league title. Look at what he did with Bayern. Look at what he did with Barcelona. He does know how to get them hungry again even after they've accomplished everything. They have a great side. They've reinforced it even more. Well, Liverpool are a really exciting side. But Liverpool are suited for cup competitions more, I think. They have depth. They are exciting, but I always remember how inconsistent they are. But now they've improved the defense too. So, oh god, this one's hard. I don't know. Okay, I'm going for Liverpool. It's final decision. Since now Klopp wins it back to back. No, but at the same time, Pep Guardiola does get the clubs hungry again. I don't know. What should I predict? Manchester City. Should I just reverse the prediction? Oh god. Oh, I can't predict this. It's so tough. Man City. Wait, let's think of every team's positive. Man City. Pep Guardiola gets the team hungry again, and they have better team with better depth. It's gonna be Manchester City again. But now team wins it back to back. Oh my word! Oh my god! What am I gonna say? I'm going. Manchester City will win the league. No, Liverpool. No, Manchester City. Okay, this is the hardest decision ever. But finally, I'm going for Liverpool. Because no club wins it back to back. I'm not reversing the decision. No. No club wins it back to back. So Liverpool are going to win it this year. Although they're very inconsistent. But they've improved where they needed to improve. So I think Liverpool are going to win the league. Manchester City will have to do with second place. It's going to be a very tight title race. I may regret this, but from motivation from unknown sources, I'm going for Liverpool right now. So let me just recap the table right here. So let me go again. At 20th, it's going to be Cardiff City. At 19th, it's going to be Brighton. At 18th, it's going to be Watford. At 17th, it's going to be Huddersfield. Crystal Palace follow them at 16th. At 15th, it's going to be the Saints. 14th, it's Newcastle. 13th, it's Fulham. Burnley will finish at 12th, 11th is Wolves, Leicester are 10th, and 9th is Everton, 8th, the best of the rest, is West Ham, Manchester United, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, and then Man City, and after them all, it's gonna be Liverpool. So hopefully you've enjoyed my Prem predictions, and I'll see you all later. Bye!